Hello and welcome to Love Avenue. Feels so great to be here as we get to dissect love issues from every single possible angle that you can think of. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to actually have you right on here. My name is Blue, your host, and do remember that Love Avenue is proudly brought to you by Diadem Counseling Center. If you're seeking counseling services, please feel free to reach out. That is diademcounselingcenter@gmail.com, and we will get in touch with you immediately. Today we get to discuss if couples should discuss past relationships openly. Should couples discuss past relationships openly? And of course, we do have our panel as usual. That is our professional counselors from Diadem Counseling Center. We do have Counselor Edwin, Counselor Chipo, Counselor Tawani, as well as Counselor Love Doctor. I think I'm just going to get straight into it, and I'll start with the doctor himself to give us prescriptions for this for this particular topic. It should come from him. So yes, I will start with you. Is it healthy for couples to discuss past relationships?
Well, I think it depends on the stage of the relationship. So not necessarily in the details of, when I say details, I mean maybe intimate details of the relationship. Mm-hmm. But, one would want to know how did the past relationship end? What happened? Who was wrong? Sometimes, yes, people would want to defend themselves and really want to try and look good. But I feel when you reach such a stage where you want to discuss about the past, mm-hmm. You have to be as open, as honest as possible so that you make your partner understand. Because sometimes you'll just be telling someone, no, she or he was like this, and that's the reason why I left them.
You start to compare?
Sometimes, yes, people would compare as they go on, and I've heard people that want to compare their past partners to their current. More especially when they have quarrels, they will be like, no, but that's why I miss my ex because
James would have handled this situation in this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they'll start comparing, and when you start comparing, you're looking less on your current.
Oh, yeah.
And when they feel less in this relationship, there's a way that they start coming out, and the way they would come out would not help to build the relationship.
Oh, yeah. I know openness is one quality in the relationships that makes it very healthy. But then if we bring it down to the difference of just oversharing and being transparent, what is the difference? I'll give this one to Counselor Chipo.
Okay. It's very, very interesting, first of all, how transparency and oversharing can easily be overlapped, mm-hmm. Because I do believe, first of all, that it's important to know the person that you're with. Mm-hmm. It's important to know as you're dating somebody that you should be able to tell everything that happened. They should be able to tell you without shame, and vice versa. Because I don't think it's a really good thing that as you go down the line in a relationship, you start to find out these very, mind-blowing things, and you're wondering, like, who are you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the oversharing comes in when now, like he said, you start just sharing irrelevant things. You start sharing irrelevant things to an extent where you are now comparing your partner, saying, oh, he used
Vanessa would
ex,
do this.
Yes, my ex used to do this for me, and you don't. And that's where the oversharing comes in, and it becomes very annoying. Mm-hmm. Annoying. Yes, thank you. That's the word. It becomes very toxic. But I do believe that we should be able to be transparent and say, look, this is me right now. Of course, I have grown and I'm better, but then this is who I have been, not trying to say, this is how my partner has been. No, I think it's important to highlight yourself and show yourself to say, I have been like this, and it wasn't pretty because nobody's perfect. Everyone has skeletons. Yeah. You said, this is how I've been. These are my skeletons. Mm-hmm. Tell me yours. Are you willing to take me as I am? Because I'm trying to be better right now.
Yeah. Yes. You've talked about how, a person gets to find out about what the other person did a bit later. And sometimes it doesn't even come from the person. Mm-hmm. You just get to find out through different channels. But at what stage do you talk about the past relationship? Is it when you meet and you're trying to pursue something into seriousness? At what stage do you really start to talk about the past relationships?
Okay, so immediately you showing that interest in someone, okay? That's where the openness itself should begin from. It's not like openness will come after now we've gotten together and we are talking. No, the reason you want to get to know me is because you want to know what I'm about. So you're going to start from the very beginning. You meet and you are talking, you get talking, and those are some of the cardinal questions actually you're going to have to ask up front, because then that now gives you a perspective of if you want to pursue this or not. So before it even gets any further or any serious, you want to work with information. As human beings, we always want to work with information. So I will decide based on the information that you're going to give me. So immediately we meet and we are talking, I'll ask, oh, okay, so what do you think about this? What do you say about this? What's your perspective on this? That's the whole idea of wanting to get to know each other. Is there has to be that flow of information, and it has to be done willingly. Of course, not upfront. Somebody comes and they're just being polite, and the first thing you ask is, no. Firstly, how many exes do you have? How many? You don't start out like
Stick
that.
to number 2.
Yes.
Just 2.
Yes, end at 2, and then afterwards end at 3. Then progress. No. You are. There's a dialogue going on, and so you are talking, and you decide. No, look. If you are really, really serious, then let's not beat about the bush. Give it to me straight. Let's talk up front. How many have you had? How many people have you been with? I want to know from that point. Yes, and well, usually they'll start to say, does body count matter? There's something like that came up. Anyway, but what you are trying to know is find out firstly, am I comfortable? Why would they go through 3 exes, 5 exes? Then what is wrong with you? Because you can't say all 5 of them were the problem and you are all right.
And I was actually getting there. Like, is disclosure sometimes necessary? Is it necessary to tell your current partner about how your past relationship was? Like Love Doctor said, is it necessary to tell, the current partner, say, I have this amount of exes, this amount of body count? Is that necessary?
Oh, sure, yes, it is. Very, very necessary.
Doesn't it come with risks? Like, what are the risks associated to that?
It does. But you see, what you need is to be realistic and mature. Just like Madame Tawani said, it's very, very important, because here's a person that you are dating or you are in courtship with, and this is the person that you will be together in life as you tie the knots. So you need to be very careful what you say, because as human beings, it pains us, it hurts us. So you might find that you are going into marriage with somebody who is very aggressive, or maybe even somebody who is very passive. So you need to be very careful to analyze the way you talk to him. But of course, it's very, very important, because when you're going to courtship, you don't have to wait until 2 years down the line, or maybe 3 months down the line. That's when you tell him that you are this courtship, or you are this other man or woman, so to speak, because it's important that you become open, and the man or the woman needs to know this. There's a danger if you don't tell him or her, because a friend might tell him, or a relative, or somebody else. For example, somebody say, no, that lady Amake Vechu had a child out of wedlock, and yet she has not told me that. So I'll say, why you hide? So why did you hide from me? And some men, it will be red card right away.
Yeah,
Would you love to know how many she has had?
No, not necessarily that. Not necessarily that. The best, I think, I would want to know the recent one, how it broke. What was the problem? Was she the problem, or he was the problem? But again, you see, we say that come out in the open, let him or her accept you as you are. Yeah. So pretty quite right what Chipo said. We all have got different backgrounds. We all have got skeletons in the cupboard. So I think it's not right to hide. For me, with Make Vechu, my beloved wife, she told me about her past relationship, and I also told about my past relationship. Yes. Yeah, in fact, with me, it was just one lady, and then we broke. And I didn't go into too many courtship. We thought it was about 2, and they broke. But I understood the reasons, and I said, no, as far as I'm concerned, I think I need you. And she said, no, I also love you. And so it's important, because it helps make sleeping giants or dogs lie. Because in future, it might be the fire that you will not be able to quench.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Let me get to you. Does disclosing such kind of issues actually build some sort of emotional intimacy, or maybe it can be like a remedy to breaking the trust that you both have?
So I think someone mentioned maturity. It depends on the level of maturity that you as a couple have. So it can either break you or build you. So if someone discloses certain things that you feel even you can't, you may feel like, I think this person is trustworthy for them to share such information. And if you are mature enough, you are going to respect that person and start trusting them. But if you are immature, you keep that and wait for a certain time to use it against them. You know, that's the reason why you failed. That's the reason why this relationship, and that's the reason why you had 7 relationships. Who am I? How am I special that I can be with you if you failed 7 relationships? You know what I mean? Instead of appreciating that this person disclosed and now I should take them as a new person and work with them together. And if there's need even for counseling, you now advise them, say, look, from the past that we have shared, I feel for us to align, we need to go for counseling, you know, so that they help us. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think we can be a good couple, but we just need to align ourselves and forget certain things and build from whatever we've gone through. But in most cases, if we are immature, we're going to use the past against our partners, and it will just be disaster, because each time you quarrel, you mention about the past. That's the reason why this didn't go with you. That's the reason why this person dumped you. You even lied that you're the one who dumped them. They dumped you. You know, even when you don't have information, you start even lying. I've investigated. They dumped you.
Every great connection needs a reset. You upgrade your phone, your style, your playlist. Why not your relationship? With over 15 years of experience, we use proven methods to help you break old patterns and build a brighter future.
Confidentiality and discretion are important to us. We create a safe space for clients to explore their concerns.
Your journey to personal growth and healthy relationships all start with Diadem Counseling Center.
Book your counseling or therapy session today by contacting us on the information below.
We've talked a lot about opening up about such issues. Let's also talk about the silence. We've seen so many couples breaking because, you know, other channels were used to find out about their past relationship. Does it come off as deception if I decide to say, I don't want to tell you about what I did in the past because to me it's just so horrible, and I'm worried that you might not see me the same way.
Now.
I'm changed. I'm coming to you as I am.
That is deception of the highest order. 100%. That is deception. Because just the fact that you are hiding who you have been, that is already a lie. Why don't we know who you have been?
I've changed.
You know, yes, you have. The fact that you've thank you. Testify of the goodness of the Lord.
I tell you.
Testify, sure. You know, because I think, Councillor Edwin, I think you remember, we were on radio this one time, and this lady called in saying she had this gentleman who was showing her a certain picture. And when in courtship, and when they got married, and now it's a whole different thing. They are staying in somewhere that she didn't even think of, and now she's taking care of the man. You know, if he just straight up said to say, look, this is who I am right now, this is who I have been, but this is what I'm trying to do. You know, that is very clear, that is very smooth, and it's easy for somebody to be able to accept, you know, because even God gave us an option to choose him, you know. give somebody an option to choose you or not. Why do you want to force somebody to be with you?
Yeah.
Because that is why people kill each other. That is why we have such toxic places. We have 100 and million, I don't know, he knows
Gender-based crime.
he knows the statistics. Yes. You know, and the
20,000 marriages
divorces.
ending every
Thank
year.
you. That's the statistic I was
Every
looking
year.
for.
Those are the ones that go to court. But those that don't go to court could be even
There are
70.
so many,
So
you know.
adding up 90,000.
It's
a
all
year.
those things. Give somebody the option to choose you. Just be transparent,
Sure,
you know,
yes.
because at the end of the day, I believe there is somebody for someone out there, and God, He knows these things. He knows to say, okay, this one is being honest. Let's find somebody for you, another honest person. Let's just pair you guys up.
But what if we go deeper into, traumatic experiences that somebody might have had in the past? Maybe they were raped as a child and issues to do with their family. A lot of people don't like to disclose about their families, something that might be going on in the family that's just very shady. Is it okay to discuss such issues?
Okay, so with such, you only start to heal when you actually bring it out. If you constantly hide it, it's like a cancer. It will be spreading, and so you are usually timid because maybe you don't know it. How is this person going to know to say the reason you are like that is because something did happen? Exactly. Unless you open up, and the more you talk about it, because it did happen, you can't run away from that. But the more you bring it out, the more you are actually getting your healing. So you are telling this person to say, you know what, I usually just snap because of this. I don't like being in these places because of this. Then the person begins to understand, to say, oh, so that's why this person is like this. They have, like I stated, information to work with. If they don't know, and they have is somebody snapping all of a sudden, or they see this and they are in a place and they are, and you start to think, okay, are you comfortable being around me or you're not? Is it something, exactly. They'll start to ask those questions. But when you open up and you say, look, I am in a place where I am transitioning to my healing, and because of A, B, C, D. So please, when it comes off like this, it's not like this, then the person will even know how to take you. They'll be like, oh, my partner went through this, and so let me try and avoid some of this, and they'll probably won't even pressure you into intimacy because they are now aware to say, this is what happened to them, and I can't force myself on this person because it will be like the same experience they'll gain. So when you begin to open up about that, to talk about that, and you are telling yourself to say, if I want something real out of this, then it has to start with me. So firstly, you are putting yourself in a safe space before you actually take now that step to say, okay, now can I open up to this person and tell them? Of course, it's very, very traumatic, and it's not an experience you want to talk about. So, it's very traumatic. So see how you can ease your way into speaking about that openly for the other person to be able to understand.
Oh yeah, speaking of counseling services, speaking of traumatic experiences, remember that counseling services are offered at Diadem Counseling Center. So please feel free to reach out. That is at diademcounselingcenter@gmail.com, and you will get the help that you need. Now, let me come to something that can also be another topic for the whole day, which is comparison. He used to drive this car. Why do you drive a Vitz? He used to drive a Benz. Oh, she used to do this. She used to cook for me like my mother. Why do you not do this? How do you stop those comparisons? They seem kind of toxic. How do you best deal with them?
Before that, I just want to allude to what Madam Twani said. A problem shared is half solved. Yeah, so comparison is the killer of relationships. It's the killer of marriage. Because my neighbor drives a BMW, like Love Doctor, they eat very well. That should not be our concern as a couple. Because I don't know where he gets the money. He could be in Satanism. He could be into Satanism. Or he could be a thief. So comparison is not right. And we as marriage counselors, all of us, we do counsel our counselees that they should not think about comparing, because that is wrong. And also, we need to know that God blesses us at his own time. So if Love Doctor is driving a Benz, it doesn't mean that me who is riding a bicycle will not drive a Benz or a different car, so to speak. At the right time, God will give me. So this is very bad. This is very bad, even in courtship, in relationships, in dating, because now you are comparing. So you are putting your man or your woman to look inferior, to be like he doesn't know what he's doing. He has got no vision. Our destiny is not going anywhere, it's going around circles. Why don't you wait upon God? Why don't you do the needful work very hard, and later on you have a Benzi or you have a mansion, so to speak? So comparison is not good.
Yeah, still speaking on comparison, there are certain situations where you are in a relationship with this particular person, and maybe the relationship ended. That was the love of their life. It ended because the other party was just no longer interested in them, and they had to go separate ways. What signs show that this person might still be emotionally attached to their previous partner?
Oh, wow. That one's for me, yeah? Okay. So it shows in different ways of, like the first thing, like we have spoken about, comparison.
Constant comparison.
Yeah, it's always the mentioning them. Oh, my partner used to do this. My ex used to do this.
They even randomly call you by their ex's name.
No,
You know, like, you know, and I think it's just it shows in ways of you don't really accept the person that you are with right now, you know. Every small thing that they do is not enough for you. So it shows in the aggression in how you relate with them. The person is able to tell, like, okay, look, like, you are not fully into this. You are one leg in, one leg out, you know. There is... So we spoke of comparison. There's also the fault finding, you know. Any small thing that you do is wrong. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You know, just if the whole relationship is just uncomfortable, it's just you are not settled in. It shows. You know, it shows. Where that is the thing I like to say. If you know a man is in love with you, you will not be confused, you know?
You would know.
You will know. But if he doesn't really love
They live
you,
in Wonderland, always wondering what's going on.
You'll be wondering to say, okay, what's going on? What are you thinking of?
Does he like me?
This and
Make
that.
signals?
Yes, yes. Things are just going to be straightforward if this person is all in.
Oh, yeah. And maybe a quick one on what she said. You also remember when we were on radio, hey, somebody called in. And what they said was, I was forced to marry this lady by my parents. And I had to break off with a woman I actually loved. And so what happened is now they're back having an affair. Both of them are married to different people.
That's
and
a
now,
plot twist.
yes, it was right on radio. Somebody actually did call in and they gave their perspective like that. So the comparisons now will come in because, hey, one, you forced me to get to somebody I didn't even want.
Let
Yes,
me abandon the love of my life.
for this one. And so those are the real issues, those. They actually do exist. So, yeah.
I know we can go the whole day talking about this particular one, but in your concluding remarks, you are all professional counselors. I'll start from Counselor Edwin. What, in your professional experience that you've had so far, what approach do you think produces the healthiest outcomes when it comes to talking about past relationship? Talk about full openness. Is it guided disclosure or is it minimal disclosure?
So first, I tell them communication is key. Open up. When your friend is talking, just listen and also have empathy. Some of these ladies or men went through that not deliberately. It was just maybe she was raped or something happened to her. So understand her. And if you really love her, accept her. And like Counselor Love Doctor said, go for counseling and be aligned together. Very, very important. It's very, very important. Than disgrace her or leave her, so to speak.
I've had an absolute blast on this particular episode as we have talked about so much. Our topic of discussion today was, should couples discuss past relationships openly? Should couples discuss past relationships openly? We had our panel, that is Counselor Edwin, Counselor Chipo, Counselor Tawani, and Counselor Love Doctor. We close off here, and do remember to reach out to us. That is diademcounselingcenter@gmail.com, and we will reach back to you so that you get your counseling services.